This girl was not only overweight, but also considered unattractive. As a result, her husband constantly looked down on her after they got married. The girl's name was Jenny. She had just graduated from college. Under her parents' arrangement, Jenny went on a blind date with Jack. Jack ran a cassette tape shop in town and was considered a decent, honest young man. But the moment he laid eyes on Jenny, he felt extremely put off by her. The main reason was that Jenny was simply too heavy. Jack wanted to marry a woman with a slim figure, but his family insisted that he marry Jenny. Their reasoning was that Jenny's family was fairly well off and could offer a decent dowry. Plus, Jenny had a bachelor's degree and could find a good job in the future. Jack couldn't talk his family out of it, so he reluctantly married Jenny against his own wishes. At the wedding, Jack's face was tense the entire time. He thought he wasn't bad-looking himself, and now he had married such a heavy woman. He worried about how embarrassing it would be in front of relatives and friends. That's what he was thinking, but he still had to accept what was happening. On their wedding night, Jack simply went to bed and fell asleep. He completely ignored his new wife. In the days that followed, when they walked down the street, Jack didn't even want Jenny to chat with the townspeople. He was afraid of being embarrassed for having married a heavy wife. One night, they finally had sex, but only because Jenny initiated it. Jack's face showed nothing but reluctance. Jenny went back to her parents' house for a while after the wedding. Jack never once called his wife. It wasn't until Jenny was ready to come home that Jack finally drove his little electric scooter to her father's house to pick her up. When Jenny argued with her in-laws, Jack just stood there. He didn't even try to help. Jenny realized that Jack was not happy with her. No matter how hard she tried to please him, taking good care of him day and night, she still got no response from Jack. Jenny couldn't help but ask him why he had married her in the first place. Jack didn't know how to answer, but that wasn't the worst of it. One day, Jack's friend showed him a photo of his fiancée. Comparing her to his own wife, it was like night and day. Jack was immediately upset, so he started running his mouth. In front of his friends, he said all kinds of terrible things about his wife. He called her a beast. He said living with her was like being in hell. He let out every nasty word he could think of. But the moment Jack finished venting, his wife Jenny overheard everything. Jenny walked up and slapped him across the face. Jack immediately slapped her back. Jenny turned around and left. When she got home, she packed her things while wiping away her tears. She was going back to her parents' house. She could tolerate her husband not appreciating her, but she couldn't stand him humiliating her in front of others. When Jack's father found out that his daughter-in-law had gone back to her parents, he was furious. He picked up a slipper and was about to hit his son. Their family wasn't well off to begin with, and now his son had driven away the daughter-in-law they had worked so hard to get. Jenny's parents also didn't understand. They couldn't figure out why their daughter would just up and leave her husband. Jenny explained that her husband had no manners, but her parents said it was all Jenny's fault. They told her that men say thoughtless things when they're angry. To them, it was just a small matter. They told her to just let it go. Jenny ended up arguing with her parents. Not only that, Jenny decided she wanted a divorce, so she went to a lawyer. She asked about the specifics of getting a divorce. After that, Jenny made up her mind to start working out. She wanted to lose weight. She didn't want people talking about her body anymore. After his wife went back to her parents, Jack never went looking for Jenny. He never called. He didn't have any desire to win her back. In Jack's eyes, he was a failure. He had no education and no special skills. His little cassette shop wasn't making any real money, and now even his marriage had failed. Jack wanted to do something to turn his life around, so he decided to take the college entrance exam again. He made a detailed schedule. He would study at the library while also taking care of his store. He hoped to get into a good university. He wanted to change his luck. But before the exam date even arrived, Jenny's divorce papers came in the mail. A few months later, Jack and his wife saw each other again. But this time, it was in a divorce court. Jenny's lawyer argued that Jack had publicly humiliated Jenny.